That brings our look at the early years of Suspense to a close. Suspense would remain a Hollywood production until the waning days of radio drama in 1959, when Bill Robson was directing it, and this happened.
Suspense was a very, very important show. I must say that I was not the director of Suspense in its heyday. Bill Spear was. And Bill Spear did not create Suspense, but made it the great show that it was. I came along at a time when radio was paring down all of adjuncts to great production in terms of money for stars, money for cast, money for orchestra, et cetera, et cetera. To give you an example of how grim it was out in 1959, they removed Suspense from the West Coast to New York for production in New York in order to save $80 in sound effects technicians.
Ordinarily, here's where you get a sneak peek at next month's episode of Breaking Walls. Next month's episode, however, is significant. And sometimes, you've got to go back to the beginning in order to know where you've been. Next month on Breaking Walls, we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the show. With what? Well, I can't reveal everything. You'll just have to stay tuned. The reading material used in today's episode was On the Air by John Dunning, Kay Thompson from Funny Face to Eloise by Sam Irvin, Network Radio Ratings by Jim Ramsberg, Suspense, Broadcast Log, Production Notes, and Detailed Cast Listings of radio's outstanding theater of thrills by Keith Scott, and The Suspense Project at suspenseproject.blogspot.com by Dr. Joseph Webb, as well as articles and features from Broadcasting Magazine, Movieland Magazine, the New York Daily News, Radio Daily, and Variety. On the interview front, William Spear and Charles Vander recorded interviews for researcher John Scheinfeld in 1971. Hans Conried, Vincent Price, Bill Robson, and Bill Spear spoke to Dick Bertel and Ed Corcoran, WTIC's The Golden Age of Radio. Hear these interviews at goldenage-wtic.org. Conrad Binion, Joseph Cotton, Agnes Moorehead, Vincent Price, and Lorene Tuttle spoke with Chuck Shaden. Hear these full chats at speakingofradio.com. Byron Kane spoke to Spurdvac. For more info, go to spurdvac.com. Lorene Tuttle spoke with Same Time, Same Station. Norman Corwin spoke with John Dunning for his 71 KNUS program from Denver. Orson Welles spoke with Dick Cavett and Biography and Sound about Alex Wolcott. And Orson Welles also spoke with Merv Griffin. Selected music featured in today's episode was Moon by George Winston and Razor Ramon's Vignette Theme by Jim Johnston. A massive special thank you to Dr. Joseph Webb, Keith Scott, and John Scheinfeld for their seminal research and work on Suspense. Without these gentlemen, tonight's episode wouldn't have been possible. And thank you again, Joe, for being my foray into the world of radio preservation all the way back in September of 2017. Breaking Walls episode 155 will be the 10th anniversary episode of Breaking Walls. What will this episode theme be? You'll just have to stay tuned. This episode will be available beginning September 1st, 2024, everywhere you get your podcasts and at thewallbreakers.com. In the meantime, give Breaking Walls a quick rating on whatever platform you listen, especially iTunes. You can also join the Breaking Walls Facebook group at facebook.com/group/thewallbreakers. And support this show for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/thewallbreakers. So until September 1st, my name is James Scully. This has been Breaking Walls episode 154. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you very much.